Hello and welcome to the Croatian Baggies podcast this week. I'm on my own this week as Dan's got work commitments, but I'm joined with Paul Scharner. Paul, how are you doing?
Yeah, hi Dave. Thank you very much. I'm well, family is well. I think the Corona crisis is maybe getting to an end.
Yeah, nearly over.
Soon, hopefully, and I'm looking forward to see more supporters back in the stadiums at the English Premier League, and hopefully for the new season, everything is going back to normal.
What is normal?
Yeah, well, what is normal actually? and to be honest, the question is it good to go back to normal?
Yeah.
Or was normal, of course, not the right normal. No? Maybe too many mistakes are in the normal.
Far too many. But talking about getting supporters back, we've just seen the Baggies' last three games.
Yeah.
With the Leicester game being a Midlands derby, but especially the last two Villa and Wolves being big local derbies. They fell on the back of a 5-2 win over Chelsea that nobody saw coming, and a 3-0 win over Southampton. What does a derby match mean to you, Paul?
Yeah, derby is always. You need to see derby games as special games actually. I'm not sure at the moment or at the present that derby games are as important as 30, 40 years ago, to be honest, because 30, 40 years ago, many local players are playing for the club, and there are rivalries against the opponents from the same city or so. That was definitely different, but of course, also in modern times, it's always nice for a player and always a lift up for the confidence when you play against the teams around you, and maybe you live in the same area as the opponent's player, and you can say, hey guy, what was wrong with you? We won the game, you had no chance, you could do some niggles and daggles, So I think derby games are still special for me, but it depends on the view of the players, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, you were involved with West Brom, and I think it was 6 derby games.
Yeah.
Of course, scoring the famous winner at Villa Park.
I scored against Birmingham City now.
Birmingham City as well, yeah. When you were at West Brom, was there a difference in the atmosphere in the build-up to those games?
The build-up was quite similar, to be honest.
Okay.
But the atmosphere and the feeling, from the supporters and what you read in the newspaper and all the surroundings are different, I think, because especially you mentioned the Villa game. It's nice for a player to play at the Villa Park, and of course, when you are an opponent and a close opponent, it's more motivation in the game to beat them and score more or less the winner, because you remember the reaction of the 3,000 supporters, Dave. It was amazing, and I think a career of a football player lives from the atmosphere, from the celebration, from the own supporters. And I think in the modern games, and especially at the Corona crisis now, you see how important is the atmosphere from the supporters in a stadium. And of course, also when you look on the TV, when you watch a game, it's not the same without supporters. It's absolutely not the same. And I have to more or less say again, derby games are special in the atmosphere area, actually.
We spoke just briefly about the shirt. It seems from a supporters point of view that you utilise those derby games as a way of connecting with supporters and showing that you as a player in that starting 11 will fight for it and will have that connection to win. The shirt first came against Wolves at home in the 2-0 win, and I know it annoyed Mick McCarthy quite well. But from playing under Hodgson in those games, How did that feel? What was the setup to play the games against Wolves, against Villa?
We were also always more confident at home under Hodgson. When we played away and it was a away game against Aston Villa, he was more or less happy with the draw.
Okay.
And what I mentioned before, especially the game against Aston Villa, it was 1-1 when they got a send off.
This was the home game in the April.
No. They got the send off when I scored the win against.
Okay, yeah.
They got the send off as well.
Yeah,
so we were one man up, and I thought, hey, come on team, come on manager. Now it's a big chance to win the game,
Mm-hmm.
So be more optimistic, more positive in the play, and I try to influence my colleagues on the field, on the pitch. That we just leaving the stadium as a winner,
Yeah.
and that's why it was such a strong feeling actually when I scored the 2-1 actually, because I thought that's about it, that's football.
Did you go into that game believing that you'd score?
Yes. Also the backstory or the backstage story actually, because of the shirt under my tricot, was it was a motivation for myself.
Okay.
To set a bit of a pressure on myself and say, hey, come on, Paul, you have now a shirt under your shirt actually, and you want to show it, and you just show it when you score.
Yeah.
I didn't score against the Wolves. That's why I showed it when I fall down. I was on the things, and just to get a bit of aggressivity in the team. But the following game against Aston Villa, it was what it needed actually.
What did that feel like to get the winner against Villa?
Yeah, absolutely. It's still
Makes
like
the hair stand up on your neck.
Yeah, definitely, and it's still like it was yesterday. So it was such a strong and strong and memorable feeling. That you just create in derby games, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, West Brom was speaking now the day after the draw against Wolves, and again on the back of the draw against Villa. Do you think that character and belief is missing? You talk about how you wore that shirt as self-motivation, as to build self-belief. Do you think that's missing currently at West Brom?
So I guess because the results were against them, especially before the Leicester game, they were dismotivated, or actually they saw the first time there is no chance that we survive in the Premier League. And that's why they were totally, what you said, the game was, it really was a surprise actually. It was very poor, and because of what you said of the good results before that game, it was not understandable. But actually, I think this was the main reason. But on the other hand, normally a derby game could get you out from this mood, because it's a release actually, and it's a different game, because 30-40 years ago the game was actually not a normal game in the championship. It was outstanding game actually, because it was a local game actually. Yes, a separate occasion actually. And that was with the other games of course too, but the game were played actually, that they believe in staying in the Premier League, and also actually realized that we get relegated was a big influence.
Do you think that's now inevitable for West Brom, the relegation, given other teams' results?
I think so. But on the other hand, normally as a player, you have now the chance in the rest of the games actually to show how good you are, and maybe get the contract with the other Premier League team actually. No? Yeah. So it's always a chance in the negativity actually.
Yeah. So the aftermath of the derby game, leaves West Brom with 2 points from what would have been a possible 9 points that would have been vital for West Brom's season. Where do you think this leaves the club now in the long term, planning for the season ahead, which is inevitably in the Championship?
Yeah, it's for quite sure that you get relegated, and now it's the time to reorganize, build a new vision, build a new strategy. What's how we should go actually in the next 4, 5, 6 years, you know.
Yeah.
So I think of course it hurts a lot actually when you get relegated, but it's also a chance to reorganize and reshape and build a proper vision, a proper ambition,
a new future.
And a proper and then in the new future, and it belongs on the people who are in charge, you know.
Yeah.
And we have to wait now.
Well,
what's the outcoming actually till the end of the season? Huh?
Yeah, a big debate at the moment is whether Sam Allardyce stays, but clearly from what we've spoke about and looking at a bigger picture, that question lies above Sam Allardyce, the direction that the club will be going in.
Yes, man. To be honest, when you decide for a strategy, Sam Allardyce could the right man, you know.
Yeah.
But it depends on what is the strategy, and I think the main mistake what is maybe in the room at the moment is Sam Allardyce shouldn't bring in the strategy.
Yeah.
Because he's just a manager. He needs to get it down on the bottom actually, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But the strategy and the vision needs to come from the club itself, you know. Yeah, because you don't know how long Allardyce lasts when he's staying, you know. And it's always the risk on not having the right results, you know. Yeah. Then you change the manager, and the manager, or with the manager, the strategy is leaving, you know.
Yeah.
And that's the main question.
And then you start from square one.
Yeah, and then you start again and again, and you have seen the last few years, it was always the same. You don't get continuity in the club, and you don't get success in the club. Definitely not.
It's like trying to rewire the DNA every season.
Yes. And that's actually the vital question now. And the main point, the main focus should be on what are we now, or what we're gonna be in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Great, Dave.
How was
Perfect.
that?
Yeah. That's fine.